Hello and welcome to Clearview Television. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. First, the headlines. Christmas and New Year celebrations in the air as federal government opens second Niger bridge to ease vehicular movements. Over 100,000 nurses in the United Kingdom take part in industrial action as they stage a walkout of hospitals. I am Gloria Atta with these and more. Welcome. The spokesperson of the FCT Police Command, DSP Josephine Ade, has confirmed the passing of a lady who was crushed to death along the Chikakore axis in the Kubwa Area Council of the FCT this December 15. Photos and videos shared online showed the wreckage of the car after it was rammed into by the moving train. Confirming the incident, DSP Ade said upon receiving information of the incident, investigators attached to the Bayajin Divisional Police Headquarters were drafted swiftly to the scene and took charge of the situation. She said the victim was confirmed dead by a medical practitioner on ground and that investigation has commenced by the Railway Division having jurisdiction over the track. Findings and safety tips already existing will be reiterated to ensure a non-repeat of incidents shortly. The federal government has opened the second Niger bridge to vehicular movements. The bridge was opened at exactly 9:50 a.m. this Thursday. According to a government official who spoke on the development, the bridge opened following some little adjustments on the road linking the bridge. The first driver to pass through the bridge, Sunday expressed joy while speaking to newsmen. Obinna Eze, the second driver to pass through the bridge, urged the federal government to complete the bridge before May 2023. Recall that the Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, last Thursday disclosed that the second Niger bridge will be open to traffic from December 15, 2022 to January 15, 2023 to ease the experience of travelers during the Yuletide break. The 1.6 kilometers long bridge links Anambra and Delta states. The second Niger bridge was first proposed during the 1978 and 1979 political campaign by then-candidate Shehu Shagari of the National Party of Nigeria. In August 2012, the Federal Executive Council under President Goodluck Jonathan approved a contract worth 325 million naira for the final planning and design of the bridge. The project continued under President Muhammadu Buhari, who had first cancelled the earlier contract in August 2015 to resume it on September 1, 2018. Residents of Karshi Town, a suburb of Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory, want the federal government to speed up completion work on the Karshi-Apo Road so that agrarian communities on that axis can easily evacuate their farm produce to the market. Some of them who spoke with Clearview TV crew on a fact-finding mission on why construction work on the road is being unnecessarily delayed say when completed, the road will help address the present traffic gridlocks that have continued to make vehicular movement on the Abuja-Kefi Expressway a nightmare.
This is Karshi Town, a suburb of Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory. Residents here are mostly farmers whose greatest challenge is how to transport their farm produce to nearby markets with ease. Reprieve, however, came their way when the 30.25 km Karshi-Apo Road was conceived as an alternative route to ease the daily traffic gridlock that have made it difficult for workers, traders, farmers, and other commuters plying the Yanya Maraba axis of the ever-busy expressway.
We are suffering. We cannot continue like this. Look at the time. I have meeting today in the office. Now look at when I'm going to the office. So we need alternative road. The Karashi-Orozo road, the FCT minister should look into it and get it open quickly so that people can use there as the alternative road. Because right now people are suffering. How can we stand in this hold up for over 2 hours? Manpower is going, resources is going.
The alternative road was to serve as a bypass for residents in adjoining communities, particularly the agrarian communities, to evacuate their farm produce to various markets in the Federal Capital Territory and the neighboring states. However, 11 years down the line, the dream of completing the road remains elusive. A visit to the site reveals that only skeletal construction work is ongoing, with some of the site engineers and tractors on ground. The idea behind commencing work where the community is situated, many believe gives the impression that the road may have been completed or gone very far, as many would only notice the portion that is close to the communities. However, a little drive away from there reveals that 11 years on, the project is still in progress, leaving many wondering what could have been responsible. Some concerned residents who spoke with Clearview TV want the Federal Capital Development Authority (FCDA) to come to their aid by ensuring the quick completion of the road to ease transportation, open up the communities, and help in the evacuation of the farm produce.
This road is over many years now. They did not finish the road. So if they finish the road, it will help us, because people are going farm and people are going up Apple. It will be like shortcut for them. Then it will help us for the business we are doing. AYA, out of too much. So if they finish this road for us, we very appreciate.
People that they are going to walk through Gariki, Maitama, Apo is short way to follow Nyanya to AYA. This road is short. Our request is that let them complete the road. It will help not only me, everyone at the community from here to Nyanya and Sabon Karishi, others place. We will really appreciate. We need government to complete the road for us.
Sani Suleiman is another resident of Kaishi town. He smells foul play and wants the supervising authority to change the contractor handling the road project.
Now ACC do better work, reach the Kufai. From Kufari come here, the road no good. I'm from Kufai go Shori, the road no good. The work no they move. Now only thing they do now, they do that for that place. Every day gas, the company they bring gas, the people come sell the gas. You know they do work.
Suleiman recalled how the FCT Minister Mohammed Bello visited the road shortly on resumption of duty in 2015 to assess the extent of work. At the occasion, Bello gave a 6 months ultimatum for the road, which was first awarded at an initial sum of 6.4 billion naira and later reviewed upward to be completed. In spite of the ultimatum, the project is yet to be completed by the contractor Calcutta Engineering, believed to be owned by a relation of former President Goodluck Jonathan.
When the government they see the work now, anytime they come to see, minister give the company 3 months, he not do anything. The minister never come back. And me every day I follow the road. Now man, the road I come back now. Now farm I come back now. The road no good though.
Clearview Television made efforts to speak with the minister or any of his agents, but to no avail. Series of letters written to the minister's office were received and acknowledged, but an interview is yet to be granted to date. Recall that the FCT minister had, upon resumption of office in 2015, promised to complete the 30.25 km Kaisha-Apo road in 6 months. But 7 years on, the road is yet to be completed, making the minister's promise another political statement. Construction work on the all-important road was started by the Jonathan's administration and inherited by the Muhammadu Buhari's administration, whose second 4-year tenure ends in May 28, 2023. The worry is, will the hope of the people using the Kaisha-Apo road again be dashed?
And in Edo State, landlords and landladies in Benin City, the state capital, have sent a Save Our Souls plea to the state government over the deplorable condition of access roads occasioned by erosion, a situation they said is almost getting them displaced in their locality in Ego local government area of the state. Clearview TV correspondent Nafisa Bello tells us more.
The ever-busy Benin-Agbo-Onitsha road, the link road to the eastern parts of the country. On daily basis, road users spend hours on this axis to get to their various destinations due to the deplorable condition of the road, especially during rainy season. These elderly landlords and landladies at Upper Medical Store Road, Ego local government area of the state, want the state government to, as a matter of urgency, come to their rescue as the streets and roads have become impassable and unmotorable. Adding that the houses are their only means of livelihood. But with no access roads, it has been difficult getting tenants.
At this my age, now this house now I built when I young, when I supposed to dey eat now. Because of this bad road, nobody they come here call rent house. It don't reach 6 months when they write room to rent, nobody to rent. But they go say house good, but no road to enter.
There's no road to my house. The house there now, my house is number 30, this street, this very street. No tenant in my house. The whole house is empty. I beg the state government to come and help us to do the road. I beg.
From radio, from information, from television, now we dey hear say campaign they go on.
To Amasio. So we are begging government to help us. There's no road. We don't have road.
Because of the bad road, nobody not let them come tell us for this street, say make we vote for them again. Maybe na shame self, because they promised before, they not they fulfill am.
A school in the neighborhood has been abandoned due to lack of good roads and emerging gullies, posing threat to the children.
We join ourselves here about our street. We come and beg the state government to come and help us because of this our street. Look at the primary school here. It's not damaged because nobody they attend the school again. We all are begging state government to come and help us. That is what we are here for.
That as it be, no road to enter our street. I beg state government, they can help us. God repair our street for us.
With the impending Christmas and New Year celebrations, the residents here expect the federal government to do the needful on the Benin-Agbo road to address the plight of travelers, while the state government is also expected to create and fix collapsed access roads in parts of the state.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has said that it recovered over 30 billion naira out of the 109 billion naira alleged to have been fraudulently amassed by the suspended Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris. Chairman of the EFCC, Abdul Rashid Bawa, disclosed this at the weekly ministerial briefing in the State House, responding to a question posed on the independence of the commission. The EFCC boss asserted that high-profile personalities and government agencies across the board have been subject to investigation, including the EFCC, which is evident of the government's successful anti-corruption drive. He disclosed that through a special control unit against money laundering would make it difficult for Nigerians to launder proceeds of crime in the next 2-3 years. He also announced that the commission will, by the end of the year, publish nationwide auction real estates across 15 locations in the country in order to dispose of over 150 flats and apartments forfeited assets. The Commandant's NSCDC Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit, Remilekun Ekundayo, says though the journey to improving the nation's anti-corruption and terrorism financing rating is very tasking and full of hurdles, the NSCDC is committed to see it through. Ekundayo spoke at the opening ceremony of a 2-day training workshop on money laundering, terrorism financing and proliferation of firearms for NSCDC investigators and prosecutors Wednesday in Abuja. Clearview TV's Florence Joshua has the details.
The Commandant General of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Ahmed Abubakar Audi, has disclosed that his administration has sought and paid over 7 billion naira to personnel for 3 years of promotion arrears to douse tension. According to the NSCDC boss, he has equally declared zero tolerance for corruption while expressing commitment to promote ethics, integrity and accountability in the system and standard operating procedure. Audi spoke on Wednesday in Abuja during the inauguration and induction of heads of the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit, Act 2 of the Corps. from the 36 states and FCT as part of effort to strengthen internal accountability and integrity system while promoting ethical behavior in all procedure among the rank and file of the personnel.
We are interested in promoting ethics, integrity, and accountability in our system and the standard operating procedure. Our support to ACTU initiatives and commitment to upholding statutory ethics and integrity standards stem across from my personal conviction that corruption and violation of ethics and integrity cripples institutions, consumes communities, and distorts governance. In our bid to really concretize our promises, because we came and made a very dampened staff morale as a result of lack of payment of benefits and areas of promoted salaries. We quickly went into action and go to ask for government to please consider our plight. And the first thing we did was to pay areas of salaries for 2.5 or 3 years, amounting to 7-point-something billion. That was just to douse the tension and to encourage personnel to give their best.
Also speaking, Chairman of Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Offences Commission, ICPC, Professor Bolaji SAN, presented by Mr. Olayinka Oyebayo, called on the agency of government to ensure that resources are managed in a prudent and transparency manner in order to accelerate the development of the country.
An active act in addition to ensuring the efficient workforce improves the ratings of such organizations on the ICPC ethics and integrity practice annually deployed, which would also result in a positive image for the organization.
NICDC was graded second amongst agencies of the Ministry of Interior and 38 in the about 460 government agency in the recently conducted 2021 Ethics and Integrity Scorecard Assessment of Ministries, Departments and Agencies by the ICPC. Florence Joshua, reporting for Clearview Television.
Demola Seriki, the Nigerian ambassador to Spain, has died at the age of 63. In a statement signed by his children, the former minister was said to have passed away surrounded by his family this Thursday, December 15. Born on November 30, 1959, Seriki has been the Nigerian ambassador to Spain since January 2021. Before his appointment as envoy, Seriki had served in several capacities. Between 2009 and March 2010, he was the Minister of State for Interior. He was also the Minister of State for Defense from 2008 to 2009. Seriki also served as the Minister for Mines and Steel Development from October 2008 to December 2008. The Otunare of Lagos headed the Ministry of State for Agriculture and Water Resources from 2007 to 2008. May his soul rest in peace. And on the foreign scene, nurses across much of the UK launched a historic strike this Thursday as they walked out of hospitals and onto picket lines after several years of falling pay and declining standards left the country's nationalized healthcare system in a state of crisis. As many as 100,000 members of the Royal College of Nursing, the UK's biggest nursing union, are taking industrial action in England, Wales and Northern Ireland in the latest and most unprecedented of a wave of strikes that has swept Britain this winter. It is the largest strike in the RCN's 106-year history, but it comes after several years of hardship for employees of Britain's National Health Service (NHS), a referred but beleaguered institution that is straining due to staffing shortfalls, sky-high demand and stretched funding. The strike is taking place on 2 days, Thursday and next Tuesday, and not every NHS trust will take part, but it marks one of the most dramatic uses of industrial action in the 74-year history of NHS and has intensified debate over the state of Britain's public services. If you are just joining us, you're watching the news on Clearview television. When we come back, we bring you stories on women and children. Stay with us.
Continues now with stories from our area of specialization, women and children. After the main transmission of our news, we rebroadcast on our YouTube page, Clearview TV. Do you operate a women or children's NGO? Are you at the helm of affairs of a government establishment or a corporate organization involved in the affairs of women and children? Then you are our partners in progress. We have a mission to better the lot of our women and children. Join us to celebrate womanhood and work assiduously to better the lot of the Nigerian child. This is our mission.
You're welcome back. As Nigerians count down to the 2023 general elections, women rights organizations, networks and movements are calling for adequate protection for all female politicians and candidates in the polls and beyond. Speaking at a joint press conference this Thursday to mark the end of the 3rd annual Women Conference in Abuja, the groups condemned the continuous incidences of gender and sexual-based violence against women and girls in politics, which has led to a decline in their active participation and engagement in the electoral process. They therefore called on relevant stakeholders to galvanize support for women's participation in politics to enable them contribute their quota to national development.
Election is 73 days from now, but we are going into building the agency of women to make sure that at least half of the population of governors will be women. And we are asking the women who are hiding to get up and declare their intentions. If you want to run for governor, if you want to run for president, declare the intention now. So we start the capacity building.
We call on women to continue to form strong alliance and a formidable force, pushing for women's active participation in all levels in the forthcoming election. We call on women groups and civil society organizations to increase campaigns and awareness for women to collect their permanent voters card PVCs and actively participate in the electoral process and not sit on the fence.
We call to ensure that perpetrators of violence, especially women in politics, are not only arrested and given the required punishment that they deserve, a deterrent to other perpetrators. We call on security agencies to deploy more female officers during the electoral process and second, for enhanced protection of women.
We call on political parties to review their respective party constitutions for mandatory proportional representation for women and ensure full implementation of the Constitution. And finally, allow women to contest for positions other than women leader positions.
We want to use this medium to condemn in very strong terms the murder of the Labour Party woman leader, late Victoria Chintex, in Kaura, Kaduna State, who was reported to be shot dead by unknown gunmen at her residence on Monday night, the 28th of November 2022. Nigerian women demand that the killers be apprehended and brought to justice as soon as possible.
The 3rd annual Women's Conference with the theme 2023 and Nigerian Women in Governance, Sustaining Momentum for Active Participation, provided women the opportunity to brainstorm on how women can achieve proportional representation in both elective and appointive positions in 2023 and beyond. And that's the news. But before we go, a recap of the top stories. celebration in the air, especially in the southeastern part of the country, following federal government's opening of the second Niger bridge to vehicular movements. According to a government official who spoke on the development, the bridge was opened to prevent gridlocks that characterized past festivities on that axis. Nurses across the UK have launched a historic strike this Thursday as they walked out of hospitals into picket lines after several years of falling pay and declining standards left the country's nationalized healthcare system in a state of crisis. The next strike is billed for Tuesday. Remember to like us on Facebook, Clearview Television. Follow us on Twitter at Clearview TV. Follow us on Instagram at ClearviewTV_NG. And also remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Clearview TV. Many thanks for watching. I am Gloria Atta.